Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. If you're new around here, I'm GFA and I make content in Star Citizen blah blah blah. Look, listen, you've clicked on this video for one reason and one reason only. You wanna make money. So let's get straight to it with a much more positive video than my last one with me whinging about the resource drive event and being a little crybaby, which is basically what I was doing. So now look, listen. I'm not saying that this is the fastest way to make aUEC, nor necessarily the best, and it really isn't anything secret or special. However, this is my personal favourite get-rich-quick scheme that nets you over 1.2 million aUEC per hour and is very easy, whilst also being enjoyable. And I feel like it's overlooked by most people, at least from what I've seen. And don't worry, there's no dealing with freight elevators at all, as I'm sure we are all pretty sick of right now. And on top of all that, you get some extra goodies for what we're about to do. But we'll get to that in just a moment. Before we start, don't forget about this month's ship giveaway for the Prowler utility. More on that a bit later in the video. And if you're in the UK or planning to be in the UK on October the 11th for the Digital Citizen Con this year, myself and my Quantum Dispatch podcast co-hosts are putting together an awesome made by the community watch party at the National Space Centre in Leicester. The venue has the UK's largest planetarium, so we can watch the CitizenCon livestream on that. There's goodie bags, there's ship giveaways, there's double dogs, there's all sorts. It's going to be a really cool event. I made a whole video about it with more information that I'll link down below, along with the link to our website that also tells you everything you need to know and where you can get your tickets. Anyway, let's get into this video. So, money. Firstly, all you're going to need yourself is a half-decent fighting ship. Something like an Avenger, which is a starter ship, a Sabre, any variant, or a Hornet, or a Vanguard, anything with decent solo fighting capabilities and good DPS. If you can't afford something like an Avenger, which I think ranges between 1.3 to 2.3 million aUEC depending on the variant you get, you can always simply rent a ship from any Vantage terminal, such as the one in Lawville. Honestly, you can do this in a Corsair probably. Actually, now I think about it, the cargo hold will probably give you more ways to make money. We'll look at that in a second. Anyway, I've done this in all sorts of ships, mainly my Sabre and my F7A because it's a lot easier with a more powerful ship. However, for this video, just to show it's a cakewalk in any ship really, I'm going to do it in an Avenger. This is the Titan Renegade, which I absolutely love. I've only recently picked this up in game. It's wonderful. Really good ship, I had no idea. So once you're in your ship, whatever that may be, open up your contracts, head over to the Mercenary tab and scroll down until you find Combat Gauntlet. Now, if you haven't done these before, which I'm assuming you haven't if you're watching this video, you'll only have number 1, which is worth 20k. But essentially, all these missions is fly to a location and destroy a few ships. With each level, it gets progressively harder with the ships that turn up, but of course you get much more money along the way as a reward and MG Scrip that we can use to get easy Wicklow favours. So once you've worked your way through a few levels, which would take you genuinely no longer than sort of 20-30 minutes at most, you'll arrive at what I personally feel like is the sweet spot, level 5. Now, I will show you level 6 in this video, as it is worth an extra 49,000 aUEC and 2 extra MG Scrip, so 14 instead of 12. But what you'll notice when I show you the footage is that it's really not worth the extra time and effort that it takes to beat level 6. Once you go past level 6, the difficulty ramps up quite a lot to where you probably want to start getting some friends involved, unless you're like an ace pilot, in which case, go ham, keep leveling up. I think I've done up to level 8 on my own, but it gets very hard. Anyway, I'll show you both 5 and 6 in this video because realistically they're the ones you want to focus on. So to start, level 5, which is what you've been seeing for the last sort of 30 seconds or so, gets you 102,000 aUEC and 12 MG Scrip. It takes less than 3 minutes to complete level 5. Yeah, 3 minutes. I've actually left what you've been watching has been mostly unedited other than about 10 seconds just where I was waiting for the next wave to spawn. Just for the pace of the video, I just cut that little 10 seconds out. It's less than 3 minutes in an Avenger. If you're in something like a Sabre or a Hornet like an F7A, it's a 90-second mission, easily. Now, speaking of ships, at level 5 you have to kill 2 Freelancers, 1 Vanguard and 1 Sabre Firebird. Every time. The same ships every time for these missions. All of which are very easy prey in the hands of the NPCs. One day, I'm sure SCIG will recode the Firebirds to be used in their appropriate manner, where they use their stealth out of range and fire barrage of missiles. God help us when that code is put onto the NPCs of the Firebird. But until then, they are genuinely just sitting ducks. Once you've killed the 4 ships, that's it. Mission complete. The money's yours. The script's yours. Everyone's a winner. Well, except for the people you've murdered, but we forget about those people. You can then just go ahead and accept another level 5 mission. They usually refresh in less than a minute. Quantum over to the new location, all of which will stay within the planet you're around, so it's a 20-second jump, if that, and then go again. I did this non-stop in my Sabre for such a long time that I genuinely ran out of hydrogen fuel in space because I wasn't paying attention and had to backspace because no one would pick me up in the global chat. But if we account for the travel time between missions and the mission refresh time, you can easily average a mission every 5 minutes. Ship depending, could be even less if you're in something like a Hornet or a Sabre. And of course, bear in mind, don't use ballistics if you can help it, because you'll have to go and rearm a lot. You don't want to be doing that. But for argument's sake, 5 minutes per run, you can get about 12 runs done in an hour if you really push it. This loop can easily net you 1.2 million aUEC or more per hour. And it's genuinely so easy even for an average pilot like myself. Now, I did promise we'll look at level 6, so let's talk about that. Level 6 gets you 151,000 aUEC and 14 MG Scrip, opposed to the 102,000 aUEC and 12 MG Scrip of level 5. But here's the main difference. You have to kill a constellation, which, to be honest, is actually still quite deadly in the hands of the NPCs. Not to mention a lot tankier than the Freelancer. Heck, a lot tankier than 2 Freelancers. And then on top of that, you have to take out 2 Gladiuses. Gladiuses? Gladii? Let's call them Gladii. Despite all that, as you're seeing right now, which is what you've been watching for the last sort of minute or so, this also only took me 3 minutes to do in an Avenger. However, I have been killed a couple of times doing level 6, as the Connie is just such a beast, and the Gladiuses hit you... Gladii, I said Gladii. And the Gladii hit you a lot whilst you're fighting, and vice versa. So that's why I actually went to take out the engine of the Connie before focusing on the Gladii to try and slow it down so it couldn't chase me while I took them out. You can see as well that my ship has actually been damaged a fair amount compared to level 5, where I came away pretty much unscathed, and that's because of that constellation. Granted, if you're in something a bit beefier, then you're probably going to be fine, so go for level 6. But for the sake of dying and setting you back 10 or more minutes, I personally just stick with the easier level 5 as it's child's play, and I just know I can do that without dying. Now thinking about it, I wish I had the F8C Lightning, because I think that would be a perfect ship for this. If anyone's willing to lend me an F8C in-game, of course, I don't mean freaking in the pledge store, then let me know, because I would love to test it out on these missions, or do it yourself and let me know what you found. Anyway, if we say that level 6 will average you around 7 minutes to account for the likelihood of having to repair whatever ship you're in a couple of times within that hour, you can probably cram 9 runs at a level 6, netting you 1.3 million aUEC per hour. If you're a better pilot than I am, you can definitely get that average time down, and the money is going to be crazy good, probably like 1.5 million aUEC. And to top all of this off, you will also get 12 or 14 Scrip, respectively to whatever level you're doing, for each mission. So you're talking around 150 Scrip per hour doing this as well. So that's 3 Wicklow favors per hour, which is not bad at all if you're looking to get some Wicklow rewards out of this as well. So that's it. It's really that simple. I said it wasn't anything special. I just think it is overlooked. I don't think many people run these gauntlets. They're pretty easy, but they can still be challenging, especially if you go for those higher levels, and you're always guaranteed to make good money. Also, it's decent combat practice, and of course, ship combat is the one gameplay loop that works like 90 to 95% of the time in Star Citizen, so that's a nice little win too. To finish up, if you've enjoyed the head tracking in today's video, it's time for a shameless It's an ad. It's a sponsor. The head tracking is all courtesy of the Tobii Eye Tracker 5, my favourite eye and head tracking solution for Star Citizen, and in my opinion a must-have for situational awareness, especially in ship combat. If you use my link in the description, obviously I get a kickback, so thank you very much for supporting the channel, but you will also get 5% off unless there is already a sale on, which Tobii usually put a sale on for 15 to 20% off, almost all the time, honestly. I don't know what they're doing over there, but there's always a sale on, it feels like. So either way, use my link. You're guaranteed some money off, whether it's my 5% or their 15 to 20%, and you can pick up yours today. They are amazing, and I'm not just saying that. I had mine before they were a channel sponsor, so yeah, they're incredible. And of course, I am flying with Virpil Control joysticks, the best dance sticks on the market. I will die on that hill, and that is my opinion. You can take it or leave it, but I think they are incredible. And if they interest you, head down to the link in the description, check out what they have to offer. They've just released their newer line of joysticks, which are a bit more budget friendly than their premium ones, but they are still built to perfection. So go and check them out if you're looking for some joysticks to really get hands-on and immersed in the Star Citizen universe. And finally, so I don't bore your pants off before the end of the video, today is the last day for the Asperia Prowler giveaway. So make sure to head over to the Gleam link in the description to find out how you can enter for free. But if you're watching this after July 31st, 2025, don't worry, I do ship giveaways every month, courtesy of CIG, so there will likely be a new one running as we speak. For example, for the month of August 2025, I will be giving away this very cool RSI Meteor. So make sure you're subscribed with your notification bells turned on to make sure you don't miss out. And that will do us. Don't forget CitizenCon Watch Party. I mentioned it at the beginning of the video. Please go and check out the links in the description and tune in to the Quantum Dispatch podcast every Sunday at 8 PM over on Twitch for everything Star Citizen. As always, I've been GFA. You have been amazing. Much love and peace.